is not playing the KO. Doug, he's coming in playing the Chamber, and Klaus is the one taking on the KO responsibilities.
I'm always a big fan of Chamber, especially in the hands of a stud like Kesnet, right? Like, you're going to set him up to be able to frag out, to be able to get high impact kills, and to do so with mobility built into it as well. So I'm excited to see how that'll play out. It's got to be Kesnet, right? Like, the spark has to be with him. He's set up for it. He's just got to deliver here.
Do you think he's got more of a chance to deliver on Chamber over the KO?
Yeah, I think so, right? Like, he, as the KO, his job is really to unlock nags on the Jet, but for him to do it with a little bit more authority, with a little bit more license to do so himself, it just opens him up a bit more.
I like this, and the reason I like this, I actually don't think they've made this decision between maps, but it actually aids them in the fact that in the very first map, Kesnet and Nags struggled exponentially, -7 on their kills. They are the space makers. Go make space, boys.
Well, the surprise has come from the side of KRU. I can't wait to see what Midgeman and Hypog to make of this one.
Well, coming out of map number 1, I think it's no secret that Team Liquid have got to be feeling good. You know, KRU thought they had that surprise pick, but didn't quite work out. And now we're on to Liquid's pick. I mean, Hypog, how are we seeing this one go? Is there any hope for KRU?
I mean, I'm glad Yinsu touched on it a couple of times. It's like almost surprised not to see a change from Liquid here. But this composition has looked good for them. And actually, the one thing to note is how well they adapt and how many different looks particularly they have around Navera's utility. I mean, my eyes go immediately towards the defensive side for that, so I have to wait until that becomes apparent, but this one does definitely feel a little more comfortable. I mean, Liquid got absolutely spanked by FPX on here, but it was a completely new look when they played against Guild.
Yeah, and I'll give a lot more respect to FPX than I would to almost any team in the world. Like, they played unbelievable. Yeah. So, when I look at Team Liquid right now, I'll estimate them pretty highly coming into this map. Immediately, we're going to have aggression up short, and Yuppie taking the fight to them, but Nags is the one getting ahead in that, and now a paranoia of their own comes through for another. KRU are dominating in these duels, and Telsic, nothing but net. Man, it's just headshot after headshot. Wow.
What a start here. The Prime Gaming flawless in the pistol round. Delzik going huge on the back of the paranoid, just tucked in. Again, almost desperation for Yampy to follow up on that space with the utility, with the paranoia sent through, with the drone, but it all amounts to nothing.
That's unbelievable.
This last kill was disgusting.
Wall bang, or was it a wall bang? The first shot?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was gorgeous, man. Wow, 1-0, KRU are up in the lead. I mean, the one thing you'll probably say is, of all the people to get those 4 kills, you don't want it to be Delzik. Getting those old orbs farmed up, but a win's a win at the end of the day. Team Liquid come in with not a whole bunch. They decide not to go for the force buy. Instead, they're gonna, I'm not gonna say concede this one, because any round where Yumpy has got a Marshall,
yes,
it's not conceded. It's very much contested.
I mean, Sheriff's on the board as well. A much slower approach this time around, seeing whether or not KRU are going to overstep the mark. Nags should have a decent idea of where he can push forward, but Yampy's drifting. You can see on the X-ray there, he's not holding this angle. He's going to get spotted. Oh, Yampy just missing on the first hit, but good for the second. No way, nearly.
I saw it happening.
I mean, look at the HP. Nags is down to 4.
Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous. Things that Yumpy's good at. Okay, this is a little bit dangerous as well. Kesnet not going to be able to get out of there. He has to try to take the fight up close, and look at that. Gorgeous 2 quick kills coming his way. That gets a little bit scary. Screams delivering shot after shot. Both of those were wall bangs, and now we end up with Yumpy and Scream to clutch it out. Well, that's a pretty powerful duo.
Actually, yeah, Klaus is going to be... Yeah, his barrel was spotted there. The jump spot going to confirm it. Scream holding close contact here. Klaus is just waiting for Delzik to get a little deeper. Yeah, looks like a paranoia comes through here, Mitch.
Great paranoia. Scream hasn't been spotted, though. He's down below, and that fight will not be won. Yumpy does his best for 1. Oh, no way! Headshot! 1-1. Team Liquid eco the round. And as I said, if Yumpy's got a Marshall, the round is not over. My God.
What was that? And even there, you got to credit Klaus and Delzik take so much time there because Liquid ultimately they need a kill, right? They don't get the weapon upgrade. They're still relying on just the Marshall, but this is where it falls apart. I mean, how the giveaway... right, okay.
Oh, come on, get out of here. All
Yeah.
right, can we get a replay? I'm going to ask for, normally I'd use talkback for this, but yeah, we can talk to everyone. Can we get a replay at some point of just every shot that Yumpy took with that Marshall in that round? Just every shot that he took, because every shot he took hit someone. It was ridiculous.
I mean, it started off with the blind tags through smoke in mid as well.
And then another one from backside, and that's just insane. Okay, well, phew. Did they not want to pause after that? Can I call a pause? Is that possible? Tech pause? My heart.
Well,
He's a bit
Yampy
confident.
immediately back to his roots there.
That was strange. Guess confidence really is a dangerous thing to have.
I mean, they're going to retrieve the Spectre there. Nagzep will pick it up, but rifles across the board elsewhere. Maybe that's just Yampy out on a whim, trying to find something. But, I mean, it's drawn an extra player towards a site here for KRU.
Shadows traveling.
They'll stick with this for the time being, but again, it's going to be difficult if it's only really Delzek holding towards main here, and he's actually got him. He does slip behind the box. I was going to say, he might get caught off guard on the jump there. It's 30 seconds now.
Well, they're giving away that they're moving here.
30
There's the
seconds
utility
left.
moving towards the site. The drone clearing them close. Flash comes through, but no kill for it. Delzik, I'm up above. Good for the one. Oh, okay. Hello, Link. Nicely handled. I mean, that is a headhunter removed. Pretty powerful weapon to take out a play. Shock dart avoided. Almost traded on the player who fired it too. For a 2v3, Liquid should be in a pretty good spot to close this one.
And just getting closer and closer. Nagzep, though, actually will find the first on the way in, so another rifle removed here. Mazzino will get tagged up. Will be revealed as well. 41 HP. I mean, if you can find one of these kills, it'll be huge. Almost feel as if it's a big victory here, but yeah, Liquid playing that to perfection. Soulcast and Link just baiting contact off each other. No close out. Liquid find their second, but like I said, damage done. Free fall. Yampy for the Spectre, obviously, but the two rifles behind that.
I don't mind Yumpy playing that fast towards top mid or bottom mid because
I didn't like the dash.
yeah, the dash could have been better. I'll give you that. I was trying to catch them off guard on timing, but they heard him. They heard him, saw him, and shot him. But the reality is, you know, you're playing that Spectre. He's trying to get some spacing. It's a weird play, but he gets taken down. From that point, they do everything perfectly. They group up together. They use the blitz play. They flash outside. Even when the player comes through the smoke on the back of the flash, they're able to take Klaus down, no problem, without letting it go too far. So
But it's another round that it's almost ticking the box, right, for Liquid.
Exactly.
Recovered, right?
Exactly.
Recovered
Exactly.
from almost an early mistake. So again, kind of take that one on the chin. Again, Liquid looking to, I was going to say Soulcast, don't go any deeper with the spike there, but looking to at least plant the seed of a B split. I don't think anything's noted on the back of that drone, actually, but Yampy now will reveal it, or at least reveal his location towards short. This is all kind of debate the rotation, which they have. I mean, there's still 3 players for KRU committed towards A site. Again, that trap in pizza is still a huge indicator for KRU.
yeah, it's a massive amount of information. It's going to allow them to rotate much quicker as well in through middle and market. They're about to detect a player in towards B main. You know, I like this, putting it nice and open and using the smoke. But never mind that detection. Ult coming through out of Scream. They're starting to move to the site. Here's Yumpy. This guy, he doesn't see smokes. What? He's on the site. No one's even looking. Kesnet does his best on backside. He's trying to kill his teammates at this point. Completely confused about where they can be, yet still, he's getting away with 2, no 3. That's KRU getting away with the round. And another perplexing scenario, Hypok.
How is Kesnet alive for that long? Again, credit to the swing. The timing on the swing obviously must have baited a little bit of presence elsewhere and diverted attention of Liquid, but I feel like they had everything necessary in terms of information on the way in.
Looked
there.
like it. It really did.
I mean, Kesnet, ego's huge, to be fair to... Well, yeah, okay, the kill on Soulcast.
It happens sometimes. Oh,
That's Yampy karma. That's Yampy
exactly.
karma right
yeah,
there.
they're owed it at this point. Yeah, give KRU a few more shots through smokes and so on. The Team Liquid evidently want to fight towards B main early on. There are a lot of them here.
Stick that? No, it does cancel.
Oh, they've spotted that tour de force in play. That's an interesting spot. They've got the smoke up now, though, to cover it, and yeah, they haven't spotted it, so it's going to be a little bit of information for them to play with, I guess. You know, Klaus is going to be ready for this play back towards mid because they're not in B main. They're not pushing that, so there's only one other place they're likely to go.
Yampy absolutely slaps him. Klaus looked good for the swing there, but now Liquid find themselves an advantage. The drone through going to confirm what I feel they should have already known here, but Yampy looking to pile on the pressure now with the Blade Storm.
He's got a judge to back him up too. Here we go, onto the site. The flash is good though. Oh, the right click isn't. Delzik ends up with 2 from that position. That looked like one and done, if even. Oh no! Oh, Kesnet, run away, my friend. This is getting a little bit scary for the 2v2. That could have been the round over and done with. Instead, there's still a little bit of a fight left to be had. The shots, he's only got 1 bullet left now. He's missed it as well. This is getting a little bit ludicrous.
Is this?
Team Liquid with 20 seconds left. They need to plant the spike. And they've got the time, they've got the space to do so. Kesnet's going in with a classic, and no one's covering it. The smoke had to be put down again. There's 10 seconds left, and the spike is dropped, but Link wins it. I don't know what just happened. That round.
I'm gonna re-quote myself from the first map. That now is the most Liquid round that we'll see.
Yes, that one must be.
What the hell was that? I mean, credit to KRU for making it interesting, right? Because it always felt like Liquid have got in. They've got in, they found the space, and then they're on site for about 4 weeks as well, by the way, trying to plant that. I just don't understand.
That's linked with a 4K as well, closing that one
MVP
out.
Tommy as well, baited out all the Tour de Force shots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it did. I remember the clip of Brave with a sheriff missing an entire mag on one. I don't know what's worse.
The cursed clip.
Yeah, that was a good one. Wow, technical pause after that one. I'm not too surprised.
That's much needed.
Yeah, someone's
really
broken their mouse, haven't they?
That is a death slammer.
Watsick.
That's a death slammer.
Yeah.
But I mean, initially, Liquid are already seeing kind of good intentions here at the start of rounds. You think back to the pistol round where they were a very, very kind of choreographed piece. Whether or not we see that come out in something, because they were pacey as well. It was very, very decisive from the get-go. Again, it's unfortunate Yampy kind of gets punished for it, and then Delzik digs 4 kills out of the abyss. But that for me, KRU, if you give them a little bit of time, they will keep kind of prodding, probing, and looking for a little bit of space to find a first blood. And really, actually, I mean, the key kind of component for Liquid there is Screen to shut down some of these early pushes from Kesnet, right? At least disable him, force him away. He hasn't got a TP. They then got the space to move around the traps. Whether or not Liquid, speed is the answer, I feel like if they can really react quickly off that utility, they should be able to find their way in, because KRU don't seem as if they're kind of happy to fight for mid. They're not kind of drifting out short. It's only on the back of a little bit of B main presence that they're doing so, but I'm not sure really whether we're going to see an adjustment this early on and what it would look like for KRU.
Well, I think something that I want to see is what actually in the pre-show of the day, Kakuka was bringing up that, KRU maybe play a little bit scared when it comes to their duelists, right? They're not going to typically be as aggressive as space-taking as we otherwise see from some other teams. Mazzino, he's doing well to find that kill and get out of there alive, but he still has a lot of players coming towards him. With a Bulldog, his chances aren't too good. He's surviving a little bit longer and buying the space and time for Nagza to get that double at his gorgeous KRU. Again, managed to just crush that all-out aggression from Team Liquid.
And again, the early utility is the paranoia to force them off. They bait out the first TP. Now, they know that they then have a window of opportunity. Unfortunately, I mean, there's another player for KRU that survives in backside a little longer than you got to say he should have, right? Again, Nagza with perfect timing over the top with the Blade Storm. Actually, you get the benefit of the second Nag. Yeah, okay, well, that's kind of where it fell apart. Those are your 2 players that are probably looking for that kill on backside.
Yeah. I do think there, though, in running out, I think it was Solkus who was kind of having a meander, right? Like looking towards the spawn when they hadn't actually cleared the laneway, and that left it. Oh, okay, that's not the nade.
Clean. Clean from Klaus.
Against pistols as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's only one. They still have an advantage here at least. Mazzino going to clear out a lot of space and vital information here. Whether or not they can retrieve the weapon. Let's see with the pings, that's the intention at least. Nagza desperate to police it though.
I mean, they could smoke it and grab it if they wanted to. Link still has smokes to play with. And it's exactly what they're going to do. That's not exactly what they're going to do. That's quite a deep smoke, and Link gets taken down trying to peek out above.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was just wanted to hold on to them for in case they can get the weapon and then execute on site, but it's a little strange.
But why put it so deep? What's the advantage?
Well,
it only allows the guys up above to see you, right? It's a strange one.
I don't know. If you're asking me, I don't know.
Maybe it was a misclick. Well, look, 3-3 is where we're at. 2 versus 3 for Team Liquid, and they're finding B
30
site.
seconds left.
Well, maybe not open because they're going to be spotted by this trap, and that's going to get
so
Kesnet
deep.
sprinting to be.
I guess they're going to be able to pick up the angle as well, but Nico will force him away. Shock dart to follow up.
Placing alarm bot.
13 seconds left. Liquid should be able to. They're not going to go for it now, especially with Nagzit finding the kill. Klaus will clear it up. Crew will find their 4th.
You know, again, from what we saw in the previous, Team Liquid controlling the pace on the attack was a big factor on Fracture. Crew couldn't really deal with those faster pushes, but right here we've seen it time and time again. Well, literally just 2 times on the B site. When they fast blitz in, they get destroyed, and I feel like I don't think that it's necessarily Crew having an amazing B hold. It actually feels more like Liquid are leaving too many gaps when they're actually executing into the site.
I mean, Crew are winning on the way back in ahead of the plant coming down on B. Like I said, we talked about how long a member of Crew is able to survive his back site, but...
And it's not like it's just Kesnet, right? It's not like he's got a specific setup that lets him survive. We saw the same from Azino with a Bulldog, and he was running for his life half the time. But he was still able to pick them off.
This is key now. For Yampi coming forward and actually dealing with one of these traps, it does actually force Crew to spread a little thinner here. They can't bank, I guess, on that free information that's almost inherent from the traps being not dealt with previously. Again, he's got a deep trap towards B main, though, and still that safety TP. So they can still commit to holding A pretty deep. Liquid are now trying to plant the seeds, trying to pull Crew's rotations a little more proactively.
Well, I think they have to, considering what you just said, which is that we've seen Crew win the retakes before the plant even goes down. Well, that's because they're rotating so quickly. It's because they have that manpower and the utility on the site ready to go. So you take that information out of their hands, and all of a sudden they don't know if there's a guy B main. They don't know if there's a guy pizza right now, so they've got to commit players there. But they're gambling on A, and the gamble, well, it's the right one. You're gonna have Delzik just getting on out of there. Hunter's Fury tagging them all up. Oh, well, this round is easily Crew's.
Soulcast and Link down to 45 and 44 HP. Like I said, the drone committed all the way through. There was no address towards Wine whatsoever. Spike down, unretrievable here. 14 seconds left. It's hold on to what you got. And again, a little bit of investment on the side as well. Hunter's Fury pivotal. Oh, okay, Kesnet with the knife. I thought he wasn't going to adjust there, and we'll find the consolation, but Zeno will clean things up. A nice round actually from Crew, and well noted as well. Actually, they know there's only Yampi probing to deal with that trap because the owl drone is the immediate response. Is there anything behind this? No. Okay, cool. You can stay where you are. There's no pressure whatsoever towards this triple stack on A.
It's almost what we saw on Fracture with some really good setups that Crew had in that first half. They were doing a fantastic job, but then I really feel like they lost themselves almost coming in. And I imagine they probably didn't really expect to have Fracture played out today up against Liquid. So realistically, for me now, I can sit back and say, well, Crew, they're going to have more of a grip here on Ascent. They're going to have a much better understanding of what Liquid are doing, what they're trying to do. That makes it all the more difficult for us to see the same kind of flip-flop in the second half.
I know we touched on this briefly before this map started, but you think back to how Liquid played against Guild, it was so pacey. Again, they were farming orbs. They were literally, I mean, frantically looking for first bloods. They were finding them time and time again. Here, you could say, I don't think they're digging too deep. They're looking to probe in different ways, but Crew aren't really biting. It's not as if we're seeing massive over-rotations from Crew. It's the right place at right time for them, honestly. Liquid, I don't think they're achieving what previously was so successful for them.
Well, yeah, one of the main problems being the fact that, like, look at the previous round and how it played out. Kesnet was solo holding both mid and B, so they were content to play a full retake because they gambled the A side. They had their 3 to 4 players over there. So Liquid's idea in the early stage of let's remove that utility, let's remove the information, well, Crew were willing to just still gamble without that info.
Looking like now, actually, Liquid might revert back to a more traditional all-in set piece, at least here with the utility they got to work with. I mean, Sheriff's on the board, a Spectre for Yampy. I'm hoping he doesn't throw that one in the wind this time around, but could be counter paranoia here. No, Delzik just looks to swing, and yeah, Yampy dashes on, but again, now the fragment going to slow things down.
That's the delay that they needed.
How quick
Crew
access here.
already have their players ready to take these duels, and I think this is something for Team Liquid. They're going to spot pretty quickly once that drone goes through. You're going to see maybe 2 players there. The knife, or actually it's a flash about to come through. This is Klaus making a big play, but he's only good for one. Team Liquid, with weak weapons on an eco, they overrun the B, or the A side, excuse me.
Lino and Kesnet now to try and recover this. Spike's still not down. Again, the door should be dealt with now, and that's going to relinquish a lot of the control they have. Kesnet actually swings through. He's going to find Yampy able to TP away. Soulcast gets caught now. It's all gone to pot. Scream, the last man standing for Liquid.
He's seen the barrel on the left. He knows where both of these players are. That's dangerous. Able to dodge at least on that first swing. Now they drop down, and he's good for the first. Scream gets away with 4. The clutch, Red Bull clutch to put 5 to 4 on the board. That's ridiculous.
I mean, thank God for that. Thank God for that. Because again, it takes them so long to at least feel comfortable about that site presence, right? I mean, they get on, they find the space, they find control. Again, I'm looking here and I'm like, the spike's dropped, it's not retrieved there, I think by Scream initially. So they have this like 10-second recovery mode.
He got right-clicked and went to 7
HP.
Oh, that sucks.
Did Scream just say, yeah, every round like that? Okay.
No,
All right,
Scream.
then. Yeah.
Every round
yeah.
not like that, please. If he means just to win. Now look at the ultis to play with here. All right, okay, next. That's one way to play it.
Well, this is a new obstacle now. It's something else. You get the operator on the board. If Nagset does start to probe a little bit, look for these first bloods. There's something else now that Liquid have to deal with. They concede the first blood. What's the response?
Oh, the ulti actually stops Klaus from going for the flash. It stops the delay play that we've seen before.
They know he's in wine.
They seem to have a very good idea indeed. Delzik needs to make a move, and he's been pushed out into the open, taken down. Here comes the drone. 3 seconds left. They still have their nade to pop up above. No, they don't. Scream's gone. He's out of here. Ulti popped on the other side, so Team Liquid gonna have no utility as they make their way in here, but the Vera doesn't need utility. He's got an operator in his hands. He's going out for a little bit more. No, he's not. He's tucked, he's waiting. Link coming on the flank. It's good to catch them off guard. Oh, that's beautiful by Team Liquid, biding their time and striking when the moment's right.
There's another moment there where I'm like, the lockdown's done. They're still not in and planted.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
was thinking the
please,
same.
no, not again. But Link with a fantastic flank comes through. And again, Crew just have, I don't know, balls of steel to just stick that res in the open in heaven. Nearly get away with it. I mean, if it's not for Link, they get away with that. They get him back on his feet.
Well, I think the whole idea was just to bait the player that was, it was Navera, who was inside of main.
To challenge Nagset with the operator.
They want to hear the res, they swing out, it gets there, it's the pick, and now they're in a 3v1. But instead, Link makes a huge play, saves the day, equalizes up, and it looks like Team Liquid are showing a heavy preference for A. They are coming in fast.
MP, given it, it's the first time actually in a while the Crew haven't even challenged here. Navera posted up, will find Nagset on the flank here, and this is feeling more comfortable. An absolute momentum shift here for Liquid.
Even got the back.
Yeah, Mazzino will fall here.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, fully blind.
Yeah, nothing you can really do about that. Well handled by Delzik. He puts up a damn good fight, but it's not enough yet again. Familiar story, you know, we go back and forth to start things out, and then Liquid towards the end, they edge out that
Well, that's like
victory.
Matt Point. Somehow it finished 7-5 for Liquid, and we're looking like it might even go their way again. This pace change has looked so good for Liquid on the back of, I mean, Scream's 4K in that Thrifty. It's just insane. That seems to be what's lit a fire under Liquid.
Scream about half his kills in that round with a Sheriff.
Didn't want to say it, but
Yeah. That's a funny fact. And Link's been unreal. It's 15-7 right now. And the impact of some of those plays. He had his 4K clutch. His big play up behind the A site. Nags taking some risks here. Oh, it almost pays off. Oh, that stung.
it could be the one really for Liquid to build behind now. And still have that utility. Kesnet posted up with the tour de force. Yeah, nobody from Liquid should entertain mid again now. They know that they're going to have the numbers advantage if they stack up and hit this site.
They're going to have a lockdown as well.
Yeah, Nivera's coming back for the orb, yeah.
They've kept it the whole time. For KRU, they don't really have anything to deal with it. Not on this side of the map. Klaus is so far away, so that nade won't be coming through. The shock darts are already used up by Mazzino. No Hunter's Fury, so they pretty much have to concede it.
I mean, a kill here with the Tour de Force would slow him down, but yeah, it's not going to happen.
Right call to just back out of there, play the retake, and KRU have been very successful on B retakes, but they've always had a guy in backside, in boathouse, ready to take those fights, to distract. You remember Nags getting the double kill. This is where we need to see, well, them find something else, and Klaus does it with a Spectre in hand.
Only just going down now.
Down.
It's a 4v4. Kesnet punishes Yampi. This could fall apart now.
It looks like it might 2v4 to play. Nivera. Not really gonna have that angle. Oh, even blinded, the shot lands. Link down below, good for one. And he knows they're coming in from the alley. Oh, he lands another. And on the last one, he'll falter. A sliver of health left for Mazzino.
Oh my God.
And they'll equalize up at halftime.
Somehow, some way. And even then, Nivera finds a blind kill with the operator on the way in. And then you think, well, actually, yeah, Liquid are gonna hold. What was that?
Unbelievable. This entire half has been just something to marvel at. Team Liquid, never a dull moment, really, is there? Well, Hypoc, you know what? We've got plenty to talk about this time around, but let's not talk about it ourselves. Let's toss it on over to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Mitch and Hypoc. Never a dull moment. I think they summed that up pretty well. But that's the experience, Doug, you sign up for when you watch Team Liquid.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of a ride, right? You know what you're getting with them, but for them to keep things as close as they have been, given this should be KRU's sweet spot, right? Like, I think they did a lot of things well, particularly around Kesnet on the chamber. It wasn't in the kills, right? I think he's like 11-7, which is nothing bad. But his trademark usage, sorry, I get that wrong every time. His trademark usage allowed so much macro play for them. They were able to rotate very quickly. They played the map insanely well, and it wasn't until Scream hit that 1v2 that we felt the separation build. Up until that point, KRU was really impressing me on their defensive half.
Honestly, I just feel like this is a bit of a marathon where I'm just watching both runners just run, you know, side by side. One of the men that has taken off, at least in that latter part of that half, was Scream. I think one of the boys said he got half of his kills with the Marshal in one round. You know, they're just throwing weapons left, right, and center and seeing what sticks. And we asked about the KO in the pre-desk. Lothar, please mute your, speakers if you're listening right now, because guess what? He's actually doing his job and he's doing it well. 2022 is a new era for Scream on the KO. It's something that we've really highlighted as being something that he has learned. And again, this is an opportunity for Team Liquid to come into this event where they weren't expected to be here and prove that they have learned things, that they will move into this patch quite well. And I think with Sliggy at the helm, this is an opportunity for them to come out really strong.
And I think that round does not reflect, well, I guess it does, in that he got half of his kills with the Sheriff, what have you. We'll see it here in just a moment, but I think this round is so difficult to track because you don't see that on stats.
No.
Right? That's an intangible, and as I mentioned earlier, it was after this round that Liquid started pulling away. They started finding openings on their attacking half, and that's what led to the difference. But if not for that, you kind of wonder, are they in the same spot, right? Like, that's an important round for him.
Conversely, a much cleaner half from KRU than we have seen on the first map. It was chippy choppy. They got red very quickly. I will say in this map, I feel better looking at Kesnet and looking at Nags. They've swapped their agents back around with each other. They look like they're more confident in their movement around the map. Delzig feeling like he's absolutely running the map as he pleases. This looks like a more comfortable KRU. Unfortunately, Team Liquid got their number.
I mean, getting 6 rounds on the defense is going to be really, really tough for Recruit as they head into their attack half. And for me, to toss us back to your casters, Mitch and Hypoc.
Well, Hypoc, half number 2. If it's anything like half number 1, we're in for a treat. But KRU moving over to the attack side. What can we expect coming out of them?
I mean, really, this is quite challenging for KRU. And we talked about this briefly at the start of this map. I mean, straight away, look at this. Liquid is so proactive here, even with the pistol, the flash, the dash comes through. Look how much space they have. Delzig actually still wins that versus Yampi somehow. But Soulcat's going to respond with shock dart.
Naturally. Yeah, naturally. Just tucked up close, though. Link able to grab himself a frag before going down, keeping Team Liquid in the lead. Solkis tucking himself in on short will maintain this control, but KRU are walking up mid. They're looking to split in through market. They've been spotted now. Navera's just going to hold the control passive because they've pushed up into main. I think they're hoping that KRU won't suspect that. Scream's got his flash ready. Good swing. No shot landed.
How?
It's Kesnet finding two.
How have KRU turned this around? Soulcast now finds himself at a 1v2. Spike comfortable there. They have so much information on spawn as well. They're going to be able to just post up. And only a classic to work with.
Gun here.
Yep, that one ain't much better for you. Yeah, max it. Again, initially you think everything goes right there for Liquid. I love the proactive push through to Link. And even then, the kills come through. Kesnet somehow turns and finds Link, and that gives them ultimately B-site on a platter, and they still... I mean, this is... Navera's so deep as well. So deep. He's literally giving up. He's like, yeah, give him the plant. And Kesnet's like, nah, I'm going to dig deeper. I'll find another kill. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is something Kesnet's been able to do in a couple of rounds. Thinking that backside play on B inside a boathouse where he just stayed alive for, I have no idea how long, man. It was like a minute, just stood there being flashed, being pushed. He was able to do it all. With that headhunter showing us a good first round. Team Liquid going to fight for those orbs.
Well, Yampi's got a Marshal. I know you're about to say it, but...
yeah, that'll get him an orb. That's one way to do it.
See if KRU can recover on the back of that. And still, 3-man hold towards A site here for Liquid. Actually, both members of Liquid on B side tucked up comfortably. Yeah, Spike heading solo towards B main. Again, they might try and sell a fake here towards A. Now drone comes through, and actually, yeah, the rotation does come through. Yampi's headed this way.
That's a big pull coming out of KRU. Smoke for top mid, doors closed, but that won't take too long to break it on open. Team Liquid, though it does mean Yampi's going to be here ready to take that fight, but the shot won't land on the cross. For the smoke, nothing found either. Solkis goes down, the side is now theirs, and KRU
30 seconds
have an
left.
easy plant out of this one. Not taking the pace quite as slow when it comes to planting as Liquid were.
Re-smoke off spawn as well. There's no way back in for Liquid here. Klaus really doesn't like Delze with his own fragment, but it'll make that much of a difference this time around. Not even going to give away an exit. I mean, also, conversely, Liquid don't really want to feed across too many ult orbs here, but they are going to swing through.
Flash, Scream at least able to grab a trade, but this is where KRU come ahead when they've got these better weapons. 2 versus 1 with Link having to step it up, and the time is just way too low. See if he can cost them a little bit more cash, but Klaus deals with him. But 8 on the board for KRU, and they've gotten out with the rifle that they invested into. So,
and that's the key one. Yeah, that's the key one to take out this, is making sure that that one stays in the hands of Naxep. Well, they might even try and pad this purchase out just a little bit. See if Liquid on the buy round, if there's any adjustment here. Again, Liquid's kind of go-to strat here is just prevent the plant. Just make sure that they can't even get on, which is why quite often we see them employ the double operator here on Ascent, because it's so powerful. You get mid and another lane just controlled by an operator. You can pretty much 3-stack towards the other side. And you get the information so early.
Speaking of information, Yumpi's just been spotted. They didn't know he's in the corner exactly, but found that out the hard way. Scream in for one more. But these pistols, man, they're
so
trading it out
trades.
back and forth. This is exactly what KRU wants in a round like this. Although Solkis is able to pick off another, and then Navera closes it out. Look, 2 kills.
Yeah,
it's not terrible, but considering it started out so well, I was seeing that kind of snowballing a little bit more.
I mean, if Navera falls there, it's ultimately a win for KRU, even though they concede. And Yampi's going to come back into this with a Guardian. Scream's going to be struggling just a little bit. So we'll get the Phantom across to him, so... Hey, that's actually Link, yeah, conceding on down to a light shield. But this is the one, for me. If KRU are going to switch something up now, they need to find some sort of comfort. Slow approach, going to walk out from tiles here. Yampi going to swing. Dash back down to 54 HP. Let's see what KRU can build on the back of this now, Mitch.
Stopping that early aggression is what I want to see from KRU. You know, don't want to let Team Liquid feel that little bit too comfortable going around for those duels. You can see why Yampi is forcing so heavily in. The Blades are up in a bit. Flash out for Nivera. Able to convert on it. The nade is good. It's not fully going to force Nags out of the corner, but he leaves himself. And KRU are starting to shift things over towards the B side. I mean, the spike is still outside of there, and they've pulled a lot of Team Liquid towards the A side.
They've pulled out so much utility as well. I mean, Scream's got nothing left here. Yampi does actually finally fall after that early damage. Knife destroyed, at least confirmation of presence on the other side. Still feel like KRU just, this is a pause to create a little bit of pressure, and they're still going to explode on the back of this.
Well, they've got the info. There's a player in towards Garden. They have even spotted Link now as well. Link's been phenomenal thus far. And he's coming out for another. I think slowing down for KRU, but they're shifting their focus, moving into the B site, realizing that the rotations have come through from Team Liquid. But here's the problem. Kesnet's going all the way through. He wants to poke and prod in towards the spawn, and Solkis thinks that he's here. A good read by Solkis with 10 seconds left. Mazzino will just about get that spike planted.
Klaus got the cross. Oh, Solkis just second-guessed it. That's like giving away another kill there. Could have been detrimental to Liquid's retake here.
5 left till recon.
Scream's so far away, though. They should know where both of them are.
Scanning ahead.
They're going to make some noise here, allow Scream to come in on the backstab. They know that Mazzino's around this area, but really they just want to run the clock down, but now he's made a step. Klaus knows there's a player in to his right. He spotted the one in the alley, but they don't clear the left corner, and Klaus is able to get away with 4. 9 rounds for KRU, and a huge clutch out of Klaus, who so far has been struggling on this map.
Well, that's the adjustment. They slow things down. It actually suits them massively in terms of what they're able to draw out. I mean, all of Scream's utility on short. They pause, they wait for Delzik to get another smoke back. And actually, the audible's perfect. You think actually it's too late in the day as 3 to be hitting that rotation, but then Klaus actually re-peeks onto Tree, finds a kill. I think that's the one that leaves Liquid guessing, like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, look, those head scratchers are perfect, though. You want to really keep them on their toes. But for Klaus, that was doubling up. He only had 4 kills going into that round, so he's certainly having a bit of a morale boost for that. And KRU pumped the brakes immediately. They know that Team Liquid will have some weaknesses, and they might try to make up for that with some aggression, but in fact, it's the opposite. Team Liquid are playing deep defaults and just allowing KRU to take whatever control they want in the early stages.
I think just Mazzino noted on the back of that. Yeah, you can see he's suppressed. Again, KRU happy to post up now. Not committing anything in the early round. Smoke off the drone here at least to slow down any progress through A main. Actually, Yampi will get tagged here, so confirmation of the second player. You can see how look how deep Nivera's playing, just on the back of Klaus having that null command available. He wants to make sure his utility's available if they decide to death ball in onto A site. But it's looking like they're hitting the rotation. They didn't like something on the other side of that. Solkas will be called upon here. He's tucked in this to switch.
This really isn't a good position to get multiple
Not
players.
at all.
And if you don't have anyone in market or spawn providing that cover, he's even being detected. He's been blinded. They haven't seen him still.
Checked.
Oh,
okay.
God. Well, at least they dealt with him eventually.
Actually, no command popped on the way back in here. Yampi just swings out. He will get traded eventually. Klaus will find Scream as well. Just Link left here for Liquid. And a lot to do with the Sheriff.
One enemy remaining.
Maybe a little bit too much to do. 1v3, some heads need to be found. Delzik is low. Oh, he went for the head. 10-7. KRU not doing too bad. They're picking up these rounds. They're making the attack look good. And this is starting to look like a locked-in map 3. Team Liquid having to take an eco here. They'll have one last buy round to try and make it work.
It's getting a little awkward because actually you look over to what KRU's economy is like. I'm talking ult economy. Mazzino, 1 off the Hunter's Fury. That's it. That's all they're missing. Yes, Liquid have tools at their disposal, but look at what they have in this round. I mean, hopefully Yampi's going to be able to make something work with the Blade Storm here, but they have to stop KRU. They have to. This is almost the one that, if they do find a first blood, invest a couple of these ultimates. I mean, Nivera on an eco. It's awkward to commit to a retake there. Again, very, very situational. If they can find the kills, maybe get an upgrade in terms of weaponry, but this is tricky.
It is tricky, and it's a tough round to really come to a conclusion in how you want to approach it. I think that's exactly why we've got this tactical timeout called by Team Liquid. We're going to take a moment to have a chat with Sliggy and figure out exactly how they want to approach this. You know, these kind of rounds, a lot of the time you're going to look at the full buy rounds as being the ones in other games of similar economies that you'll be like, oh, well, that's where you call it, right? You play this eco, you do whatever, you get info, and then you call the timeout and you approach it. But especially in this where you can have the likes of Yumpy playing in with a Blade Storm, there is so much that you can do with so little.
They almost have to approach this in the same way they would a buy round.
Exactly.
Right? In terms of the ultimates, you're absolutely right there. And I mean, hopefully. I mean, Solkas as well. It's a big playmaker ultimate to have, the Hunter's Fury here. Whether or not he's going to throw it out. To wait and see. I mean, for KRU, like I said, just slowing things down early on. Yes, you could talk about the paranoia created with that null command being available and how deep Liquid are happy to play. Liquid don't know anything about KRU's default. Other than the pistol round, we haven't seen them explore anywhere on the map. Yeah. So they don't even really have any opportunity to say, right, let's try and catch off, you know, Mazzino when he's trying to dart off or when he's thrown in somewhere. If Nagzet's swinging mid, let's try and punish that. Liquid haven't learned anything yet.
Starting to run out of time. As we said, this round is normally a throwaway with a lot of weak weapons, but that Blade Storm mixed in there, maybe they can make something work.
Look at the minimap again, man. It's just nobody probing anywhere. And KRU are reading this perfectly, right? It's waiting for an overstep from Liquid, right? Almost forcing an error on their part.
What do you even read into when you see that smoke? I mean, I think certainly it looks like that's going to be an A play. It's not the kind of thing you smoke if you're going to push B. But it seems almost too telegraphed. You know, that's where you're kind of like, are they trying to fake us out here? But no, they are in fact moving to this side. And well, Klaus pops his ulti and goes down right away. Good kill by Link, but it's not really a kill. That player can still be taken back up. And that he will be. Putting the numbers just down one, but Nivera comes in with another. The Sheriff's starting to do some heavy lifting. Klaus gets tagged up, and I'm starting to get worried to flash over. Well, the smoke's sadly not going to allow anyone to be blinded up. That shock dart took down Klaus. Oh, this is looking a little bit rough. They've even popped the Hunter's Fury on Mazzino. I'm very surprised with that.
Desperation to try and recover it here, but Mazzino down to 15 HP. They've got to just commit to holding on here.
10 seconds left.
Actually, Mazzino might even fall because Yampy's going hunting. We'll find the right click. And somehow, this is the round that Liquid had just closed the front door. I mean, 4 standing. They find the thrifty round win. Not entirely sure how. Link dry swinging out ahead of the hit. Finds the one kill that matters. It's Klaus. Yeah.
One of those rounds.
Well, that's the thing. You come back and go, right, so now what do Liquid take across into their buy round, right? What have they learned from that? What's the adjustment there? Yeah, Link, start swinging.
Yeah, start swinging on them. Yeah. Hit a few heads, and we'll be good to go.
He's just, again, to come back, I know you noted it in the first half, he is having an insane map, by the way.
It's nuts.
You want to
21
play,
and 12.
let's play.
Considering the names that are on his team,
Exactly,
Nivera, Scream, Yumpy, like, that's huge for Link. Doing the Brits proud for sure. Team Liquid. 3 players on B this time. One of the few times they're not stacking heavier towards A in the early stages, and that's when KRU decide to make a move towards this side of the map. They've already got control over Market. They've broken the door as well, but that only allows Team Liquid to stay in these positions now that they know there's been pressure around here. Oh, we have a little shock dart coming through to destroy some utility. Get rid of those alarm bots and nanos.
They're still posted up though, and with Link obviously towards Wine, they can hold formation for the time being. Who's on the other side? Yeah, it's Yampy that's actually pushed in, so again, KRU creeping closer and closer now and actually drifting towards short here. It's looking like A is going to be the end goal. Okay, Scream on a bit of a wild swing through the smoke there. But actually it's pulled the rotation now, and Nagzet's in position to read these audio cues as well.
That's huge information. Solkas still able to grab himself a kill. Nagzet! Oh, that's awkward. The entire Blade Storm misses. And Team Liquid get to keep their advantage was where I was going with that. But yeah, I guess not. Link is on the backside, so they shouldn't expect a second player to already be here, and that's where Yumpy, look, with 10 seconds left, all he has to do is provide that little bit of cover for Link. He barely even needs it. Textbook, 6 seconds left, round is over, and Team Liquid have pushed up to 9. And you mentioned earlier, Crew's economy wasn't in the best of spots. Look, Kesman's doing great damage here. I mean, he's only got a classic, he didn't really want to survive.
And look at it. 2 rounds now. Crew are down to nothing but Delzic's TP. Yes, you could say the same for Liquid, but now they're in a position where they can play out around, potentially give up a site for retake. They have Nivera holding on to that lockdown. Again, Crew try it desperately. We see now on the replay, somebody's pushed all the way up through window to try and sell this fake, but I think Nivera's, again, he finds that kill and immediately they know. Crew are actually going to call a timeout because, yeah, now, I mean, I was kind of giving them credit for how much this pace change towards a slower early round has suited them. Now it's like it's coming down to these desperate late round hits. 30 seconds, 1 kill ultimately can change the entire outcome of a round like that.
No, I think so far, you know, Crew have had a pretty good ability to be able to push and pull the Team Liquid side in the way that they wanted and getting the stacks on the right side and being able to feel out that space. But yeah, in that round right there, they really tripped up. That was like critical error of the game plan. So this is the perfect time for a pause.
Also, what stopped happening? Crew actually haven't been able to bait out some of these key pieces of utility on the side of Liquid. Again, Link being backside with a paranoia in the last 20 seconds of a round.
Yep.
It's almost like, yeah, Crew, you haven't actually done hard, you haven't worked hard enough there.
Yeah.
You've almost relied solely on that presence, you know, causing Liquid to over-rotate, then invest the utility to stop that side hit coming through, but Liquid still had everything they needed to.
And it comes back to, you know, good containment for Team Liquid, being able to consistently decide when to dedicate that utility, what part of the map they actually want to fight for. We saw Crew be able to push up bottom mid, they go into market, they break the door, they take all this space, make all this noise, and there's no panic from Liquid. They're like, okay, we got 2 guys side, we've got a guy spawn, we have our bases covered, and they have those fallback positions.
Even with Zolgas getting caught, basically with his hands down his pants in spawn, and still isn't punished.
Through a smoke as well.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't, you know, can't blame him too much for that one. And we're gonna have a very early knife going over towards market. Crew want to up the pace completely, maybe this time deciding to go all the way through on this split for the B site. That's where Yumpy's gonna have a test. Scream, in fact, the one to find that kill. Of course, Yumpy pulls out that shorty. Klaus 30 HP. Oh, that bullet, it grazed him, but he'll go down eventually. Nivera with a quick double as this round falls apart for Crew. Nicely handled, double digits for Team Liquid.
Right back in this one. See Crew almost a throwaway round here, but it's in the one that you don't really want to see it happen. They're now financially stripped out. I have a couple of sheriffs to throw in, and again, now we start to criticize that overinvestment previously, where they don't have these ultimates to fall back on. Not enough happened with the Tour de Force. Yes, they had a round where ultimately they could purchase 3 rifles and offset it with the Blade Storm and the Tour de Force, but now they're on the struggle bus.
I mean, it was a while ago, but that ult out of Mazzino. 2v4, he's stuck in wine and he pops it. That was serious desperation play. Great shot by Yumpy. Back over towards the site, ready to set up again. And now he's blinded up. All right, so that causes some problems. But they haven't managed to make it out of main.
Yeah, exactly. It's to force him off that angle, and they achieve nothing on the back of it. Hasn't it somehow, though? Managed to slip the net past the utility of Nivera. He's in a deadly position here.
They should expect this to be possible with the fact that utility went down, with Nivera giving it up, but that timing is hard to read. They do well to at least take him down. Spike's going to come into play. But with a 2v5, excuse me.
Last player standing.
1v5. Yeah, it's a tough one to win out for poor old Delzic, and not the best of angles. 11 on the board for Liquid. And they've taken the lead. What a comeback this has been.
I mean, dare I say, it's the first time in a long time we've seen Liquid kind of hit coast mode. Yeah, honestly, they're not feeling any pressure in something. I mean, that previous one, like I said, almost felt like Crew just a throwaway round with weapons. But here, Liquid, they don't look phased at all now. They're happy for Crew to slow things down early on.
Obviously, it is an eco, but you still have to compliment the fact that they get a Prime Gaming Flawless out of it. It's a big money-making round for Team Liquid. And over on the Crew side, they're not really fine. Like, they found the space physically on the map, but
they still have a lockdown, by the way.
They do,
they
yeah.
Still have a
they
lockdown.
didn't use it up. And you know what they don't have is a Hunter's Fury to counter it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, actually, just keep an eye on Mazzino. Whether or not, yeah, see, they're not even.
No. Is Kesnet going to realize that his trap hasn't actually seen him? Okay, that it's not out wide enough. I think he did. Yes, he knew what he was up against.
Yampy still goes for that. Of course he does. I mean, even at 11-10, you can always count on Yampy to do something Yampy-esque.
Gotta. That's what we know him for. Take the space, take the plays. This time around, it hasn't quite worked out. He's side under threat, and well, Solkas, he rolls the dice as well, follows it up. Assuming the rotate would have come through to the A site, that they were,
yeah, I'm
leave it open, but no.
I'm not sure about that one, but whether or not even there's a plan here around the lockdown, but I mean, it's a 3v5.
What a play for 11-10, man.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling.
Such a
strange time
to pull it out.
I'm not sure about the second swing there from Soulcast. Again, crew haven't really necessarily been aggressive towards B main. It's been towards short or A. So what are you expecting to find there?
They've got the money if they wanted to go for this to buy up next round, certainly. Maybe the one after, especially if Volts come on. But I do respect the decision to just play this as a save. Navarro hasn't done a great job of that, but the other two are on the other side, looking to carry these weapons forward. And the funny thing here is Link, he's going to be max money coming in the next round. He already is.
Damage is key here. I mean, Nagzet being the one with the operator, he's already in spawn. Klaus actually already wise to Scream and Link's whereabouts there, and will be confirmed with the jump peak, so they should be able to at least minimize the damage here. Actually, Scream and Link will... Okay, well, they find 3. Yeah, well, it's not going to break the economy. At least it'll keep them honest. Keep it in check.
Keep it in check, yeah. What weapon does Yumpy and Navarro have?
It's looking like they might want to stop crew from getting anywhere close to a site in this round.
This
is a big adjustment, though, to pull this out this late.
Why is Link not dropping anyone? Come on.
Cover going out.
Man's got 9K.
This could be a real curveball, actually. I mean, for the first time now, Liquid are exploring A main. They're actively holding it here with Yampy on the operator. Navarro posted up the other side of it, but the first one goes wide.
So dead.
That's a big miss. Kesnet coming in now with the tour de force, looking to catch some heads. The rest of the team making their way through middle. They've already destroyed the alarm bot there. Now we look at the side itself. Well, Scream, he's able to tuck down below. That's an odd position to be in. Why would you even clear it? He's able to grab himself too, and then they only barely deal with him. The site is overrun, and Team Liquid will have to fight back in a 2v3.
It's Yampy and Link now eventually making their way over from A site, but again, with Nagzet here, I don't even think he noted whether he wasn't there, but Yampy gonna dash on. We'll get the swap out, but all the kills come through. Crew, they find their 12th. And that's why I get immediately dismantled. But this is the thing, right? It's such a risk to run this double operator. You missed that first one. Unfortunately, Navarro has no get out of jail free card. He doesn't. It's so Scream finds that third. There's a chance, man. There's a reality where that actually pays off for them. But well, do or die now. Liquid.
Through them.
The Guardian, actually, Yampy will be able to get the operator back on Bladestorm as well. Ultimates are plenty. Soulcast the only one missing. I gotta start seeing them lean on this. The lockdown's still there. Scream with the null command as well.
I was gonna say, yeah, a disadvantage with Scream having to play the Guardian. A bit of poor economy management from Team Liquid that's led to that. We said in the previous round, obviously, and even before that, there were opportunities to level out the economy a little bit more. But at the same time, when it's Scream playing with this weapon, you can definitely give him a little bit of slack. Having to play light shields as well, though.
I think going to cancel that to avoid the drone.
He tried, but
yeah,
it's too early.
Oh, no, he messed up the TP as well.
Yikes.
Oh, that's tough.
At 12 to 11.
Of course, where he TPs to. Nags is just like, yeah, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? I was holding that, actually. Yeah. This is a bit of a difficult situation for Team Liquid. They don't want to push up, having seen what happened before. The rotations coming out of the B site leave the turret out of commission for now.
Screens preemptively popped his ult as well.
30 seconds left.
But that's the ult gone, and now they're going to take their moment to push.
I don't even think there was any contact on the back of that.
Those shots not landing for Scream. He's being revealed on the back of the side. He's being naded out. He's being killed by Delzik, who's got up on top of the box. Navera does well, though, catching them on the cross.
10 seconds left.
Oh, he's ready!
No way, Navera!
What is that play? Navera gets the ball! An ace to guarantee an overtime! Utterly unbelievable!
Switching sides. Overtime.
Out of nowhere, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, he's got the lockdown. They've killed the spike. They can come back. There's not an awful lot of time left, but no. Navera with the absolute alpha play just swings out.
9 times out of 10, we would have nothing but negative comments for that, you know, because it wouldn't work out. You'd be killed,
doesn't make sense.
It's like the Yumpy Solkas push-up in B main. It's like it's going to cost you a lot more than it's going to earn you, but this time it's worked. And so we're going to go to round number 25. Let's get this OT underway.
I mean, there's... Just look at this. This defies all logic. And that's just like, it's so on brand for Navera. It's so on brand.
Even Delzik is like, he's being shot in the side.
Like,
he doesn't
why?
even turn. He's like, no, how could there even be someone there? Wow. Well, OT now kicking off round 25 between these two teams. We said if half number 2 is anything like half number 1, we'd be in for a treat. Well, it was exactly like it. 6-6, 6-6. And now we play. For those of you that don't know, we're going to be going until someone leads by 2, swapping back and forth after every round. Everyone starts 3 ult orbs away from their ultimate, and Team Liquid are, as you can see on the attack side, looking to split in through B. But again, they're going to have to deal with this utility. It's something they spotted in regulation and that they're looking to deal with coming into OT.
It's the same thing again, though. The out drone immediately, in response to that trap being dealt with. Doesn't pull the rotation just yet. Kesnet will avoid detection, playing a little bit deeper here. So a couple of adjustments here on both sides, and actually the TP to back side this time around.
Now, this means Kesnet is stuck in Boathouse. He's not going to be able to get out of there with his TP, but he has teammates now coming into play. And Team Liquid's pace has been the problem again and again. They haven't been able to get to the site. And they haven't been able to deal with Kesnet on the back of it either. There's 2 for him in Boathouse. He dodges the blind. And as they try to cross over and deal with him, as we said, teammates are rotated in. They're ready to play. Kesnet taking 3, and he's still alive. He's popping his ult and everything. What a lunatic. It works out in the end with 13 going to KRU.
Another round where someone's just able to survive for so long. For so long.
Match point.
It doesn't even start off with him winning the duel in B main. He has to concede that with nothing. Like, this is a guy stuck in a corner. That anchor is there in front of him, but he can't TP. And yet he's able to just... He makes it look so effortless. He even popped his ult and was dancing around like a Looney Tune. That was crazy.
I mean, it's... I don't know what... The adjustment there needs to be... It's happened so many times, you got to think that Liquid just need to commit. Just push lane. Get onto site, clear it. Because it's almost like one will drop, then the second drops. Talking about dropping, Yampy will actually find Nagzet pretty quickly at the start of the round, so giving it a very early advantage to Liquid.
KRU's response?
Yeah, KRU's response is pace.
They instantly destroy that utility as well. Far too used to where Navera's putting it down. The blind comes in for Link. He TPs to back site and has support from up above. Nano Swarm's buying them that little bit of extra time, stopping the player coming out of main. And a good angle for Navera there. He's able to grab 1, but there's players right down below him, and it's getting a little bit scary with the side angle for Klaus. But he's traded out, keeping it into an advantage for Team Liquid, who will now look to play that retake.
As he Delzik down to 52 HP. Yampy getting closer and closer. We'll find one now. Just Kesnet left to do it. Yampy finds his 3rd. Liquid will tie things up. We go again, Mitch.
That we do. Lock and load. Round number 27 coming up. 13-13. Team Liquid, they made one hell of a comeback in the previous half, and they're not letting it go just yet. I can only imagine the pressure that's mounting on KRU, being that close to closing it out, then again having the opportunity, and it just keeps getting snatched out of their hands.
In that sort of round in particular as well, because they're relying on kind of that conditioning factor from how many times they've sold that fake on short.
Yep.
And this is the time when actually we will follow through. So actually, you know, it's almost like that long-term plan kind of coming apart at the seams for them here. We haven't seen, other than that, an awful lot of variation from KRU. I mean, think back to what Doug said on the first half, in terms of being one-dimensional. This is now where KRU ultimately have to completely flip the script if they want to find some success on their attacking half. Attacking round, sorry.
Well, as they come on into the defensive side, let's see what crew are going to be aiming for. Again, we get Kesnet playing quite aggressive in B main. He has a TP behind him, and he's running up on Navera, trading
elbow.
turret Timmy for Kesnet's life. And Kesnet's the guy that's held Boathouse almost every time they've gone B. So that's a pretty good kill to have.
I was just looking there, I was like, yeah, it is Yampi. The door is closed. The drone comes through, Yampi breaks it. I mean, that's just heartbreaking.
It's on the back of Kesnet going down. They just lose so much
there's
information.
Such a huge gap.
And even though Klaus finds Link, who has...
No way. No way.
They saw him. They saw him? They saw.
No
Did
way.
they not see him?
Spike planted.
Did they not see him? Oh!
They didn't see him, Mitch.
Oh, Nag's able to get
Oh,
one.
no.
This is getting a little bit scary. Team Liquid, they finally got beat. They finally dealt with Boathouse. Now the post plant, something we haven't got to see from them all too often on this side of the map. And I'm scared. I'm starting to see Solka step forward. The operator is patiently holding it, but the smoke will block him off. A flash popping over. A recon, I think, ready to pop on out. And a good peek. Well timed by Scream and Yumpy. Taking those frags, leaving Klaus alone. He's even being wall banged, and I don't think he has a clue where Solkas is. A tough clutch with 3 bullets left, down to the classic low time and 5 HP. That is Team Liquid's round. They are on map and series point.
Again, you remove Kesnet, and B site seemed pretty comfortable for them. Again, you almost got to fault the setup there, because like I said, it left such a huge gap towards mid. Ultimately, yes, the trap is gone, but as soon as that happens, you see the contingency elsewhere. When Yampi was coming forward, dealing with that trap in Peter, the Owl drone in response, they were immediately there to kind of backfill that space created. But yeah, Yampi, I mean, just on a solo mission. This time around, it pays off for him. And at that point, you got to feel like it's the round concluded on the back of just the one kill, really.
We said the pressure was mounting on crew, being pushed to these OTs again and again, but now their back's really against the wall. Playing it cautious, revealing Yumpy early. He had a lot of success on those mid duels. This time shifting it up, and they know that he's going to be coming towards short. Does he actually swing that right into Nags? That's a free kill.
There.
See what the next step is here for crew. They're going to pause just to see if there's any further pressure from Liquid coming through. Again, playing pretty deep now. You know, we'll hightail his way towards B. And as soon as that alarm bot goes off, should pull Scream back towards B. But again, the timing
Revealing area.
could be detrimental for them. The Soulcast Recon Bolt is destroyed. It's only the wall to slow things down here, Mitch.
It's not going to be easy to hold on control, but crew managed to do it again and again. Recon popped up desperately, trying to just add a little bit more utility for his opponents to deal with Solkas. Oh, he's not spotted on the back of the side, and they saw Navera, but somehow that wasn't communicated. The numbers, though, do stay in favor of crew. They've got the plant down, and Team Liquid will have to play the retake.
Oh, no.
That timing could not have been worse.
Kesnet will swing through, seal the deal, 14-14.
Switching sides. Over.
Just when you think in the previous Liquid, like, yeah, they're so comfortable on that attacking
30
round.
seconds.
Yeah, it should be
Nice and
fine.
Easy. No worries whatsoever. Well,
And they don't even buy an awful lot of time off of Navera's utility. Kurumos just, they don't pay any respect to it. I mean, the pressure comes towards stairs, ultimately just completely mitigating that. You can see Soulcast is like, how the hell is this guy next to me already? And there, it kind of just spirals out of control after that. I mean, it ultimately relies on Navera just going huge and like finding 3 kills.
we're kicking things off with a familiar setup coming out of crew. The aggression coming out from Nags that we saw Yumpy attempt just 3 rounds ago. But he's not seeing anyone just yet. Yumpy hasn't stepped forward until the smoke pops, and now he's going to take his moment to try and peek on out.
He doesn't want to get suppressed there.
Very nicely handled. That's mid-control for Team Liquid at very low cost.
This is almost an attempt to deny Yampy from dealing with this trap, right? Again, that previous round, it was almost a freebie on the back of the kill onto Kesnet, but same thing again. Owl drone comes through, he's going to clear the space. And now Liquid have an opportunity to at least re-aggress behind this.
And I think that was exactly the intention. You saw Yumpy go to short and completely concede the control. They all hid from the recon so that at this point, KRU think there's nobody around middle, and in fact, well, there won't be, because Team Liquid are looking for a 5-man B main push. With 35 seconds left, the drone is only now going through. There's still utility there for KRU. I mean, this is going to be tough.
It is very late in the day here.
Open the door. I don't even know if they've noticed they've opened the door. Yumpy traded out in the 1-for-1. Kesnet just keeps on delivering in the site. Well, it might be given up, but they're fighting from the alley. Team Liquid, they're doing well with 10 seconds left. Nags tries to deny that spike plant. He can't get in on time. Now has to play the clutch all by his lonesome. Team Liquid have him suppressed as well, but look at the HP. Both of these players are so low, but with the up, Navarro won't miss. That's 15 as Team Liquid once again on map and series point.
And the recovery there is actually insane, because it looks like KRU are in the right place to at least stop that. Do Liquid come off the spike plant here? Do they kind of like cancel halfway through? Because I'm not entirely sure how this is able to turn back around. I mean, Scream finds 2 huge kills here. Vera actually in the kill feed responds as well.
Well, you can see spirits are definitely high over on the Team Liquid
definitely
side.
after a round like that.
You have to be. They have to be.
KRU are going to be kicking themselves.
We're seeing those operators bought up again, and they've been so instrumental in some of these early duels that there's not really any surprise to see that. Yumpy's tried a couple of different options, right? We've seen him aggress on pretty much every part of the map to try to get those duels. Last time it was B main, or A main, excuse me, not really having much success there. This time, though, I see he's just sat outside B main, ready to dive on in after this timeout that's being called by Team Liquid to try and get this win across the line.
It's so tough at this point in the map. It's so tough to rely on kind of just these slight variations for some of these setups, especially with what KRU did on the attack. Like I said, ultimately it was like 6 or 7 rounds intention of that conditioning towards short with that fake, and then it fell apart one of them. Now, I mean, what different look do they have in terms of an A site here? Everything else looks slow in regulation in terms of KRU's attack, and here I just don't think that's going to suit them. The fact that now Yampi's got the operator on, these kind of slow defaults can be punished so easily. I mean, you think back actually, Navarro, that whiff on B main, that was regulation, wasn't it? Yeah, it wasn't an overtime round, but that's the sort of thing where KRU slow things down. If they concede that first blood, it can literally spiral out of control.
And we saw it time and time again, those early duels between Nags and Yumpy, they are taking place in middle. Last time, it was Nags walking straight across mid, up short, and just crouch holding it until somebody peeked him. And I like that idea from KRU. That slow default is always going to be solid against a team like Liquid. You're stopping them from getting aggressive in the early round and feeling comfortable to just take map control. But then you extend it even further and say, well, as long as you're able to make Yumpy a little bit nervous about taking those fights and know that, okay, if I'm not holding this at the start of the round, there's a pretty good chance this guy's going to be crouched holding it with an op, and I'm dead when I peek. Well, that's great to really play the mind games. Speaking of which, we said Team Liquid called a timeout, and you might have noticed the timer start again. What's going on? Well, KRU also called a timeout. They both called it at the same time, so we've given them both their moment. And now we're going to be diving back on in. We think they've deserved a break, but only that long of a break. Let's get on in to round number 30 with Team Liquid set to start out on the defensive side.
I think the intentions there, once again, when Nags it on that operator, they're going to look to start very slow, find some space, post him up pretty deep. And again, they can kind of rely on Liquid having to re-explore these kind of early areas of contact. But we're actually seeing a major switch up, actually, with Soulcast to be the one to initially greet any swing from mid. Yampy committed towards B main. And Kesnet's been fairly passive in terms of holding outside here. This time around, he does actually have Delzik.
So Kesnet actually put down one of his traps, and it got destroyed. And I'm fairly certain it was Yumpy's shorty that destroyed it. Now, you hear that shorty.
Yeah, exactly.
You know who's there. You know, and that's why he was pushing up in B main. Shorty broke, and he went, no, I'll just step back. I'll just hold it.
I'll hold it and spawn.
See if he pushes up, see if they can get that control. In the end, he doesn't. And Kesnet wants to make a sneaky play.
Here.
Going to deal with the utility. Create a little bit of pressure, but Soulcast still kind of on floating duty back and forth. Still very, very deep B main control here. And actually Scream playing in tandem with Yampy.
I do.
Soulcast will spot out Klaus at least in mid.
I love the setup in B main because it's so likely that KRU move towards there. I can see from Liquid's perspective why they think that counterplay is going to come in, but they're just too scared of that operator, and rightly so. Walking into the A site where there's just 3 players, but Link on the site, he's being huge. He uses his paranoia to start. Navarre is already in and doing damage. Although he falls, Link's there to pick up the slack. The operator of Nags, so beautiful. 10 seconds left. They needed that kill. Now they can find the plant.
It was 3v3 though. And really, if Yampy can swap out a weapon, I don't think he's can with him going towards short here. And that's the only thing that really hinders them on this retake. It's going to be him to have to deal with the door as well. That's going to slow things down massively for Liquid.
Okay, nade coming over. That's not forcing anyone out of position just yet. All the while, they're hoping Yampy can work an angle. Here, he's gone onto the site! Dashing in! Why was he still alive?
There's no way!
I'm absolutely perplexed. Kesnet left in the 1v2. The defuse baits him into the open, and just like that, what a way for it to end as well. Was that the most team like? Oh my god, have they not got it?
Oh my god.
Defenders win.
I was holding my breath when you were talking there. I was like, surely. But I mean, it's a Yampy round to close it out. How did he get away with that? How? He almost overcooks the dash outside of his own smoke, but the flash is perfect at the same time.
That was something else. And I mean, how many rounds have we had that were like, oh, that's a Team Liquid round right there? Yampy is absolutely insane. And I mean that both in the way that he's really good and just, I don't know what's going on in his head. Love his hair though. Nice dude.
You got 8 first bloods there. And again, it's almost as if you didn't see an awful lot of pressure coming through from KRU in the early round on their attacking regulation. And it's a similar sort of story there. Again, they try and slow things down. They're trying to post Nags it up in kind of a power position, right? And Liquid just continue what they were doing previously. They play so deep. They're so reliant on this utility. And actually,